That was beautiful, man.
Hello?
Yo! It's been a while, huh?
It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks.
I know. Holidays. Pff,
Holidays.
who needs them?
Who needs to take days off?
Taking over
Yeah.
time. But, yeah, man. So that was a Mixolydian jam for me. I love that stuff. Have I already talked about this?
Mixolydian?
Have I already talked about Mixolydian?
You have. But
Where I'm kind of doing the...
just playing relative minor, basically.
Technically, well, I'm playing an A major scale over an E.
That explains a lot.
So here, go ahead, try it. A major. A major scale, technically, I should say.
Scale.
A major scale. Because you're playing that D major, or that regular, that D natural note in there. That's what makes it sound different.
Yeah. F, G, A. So Mixolydian is
FCG.
F. What?
For sharps, is that what you're talking
No,
about?
numbers. So in the key of E, A is a 4.
Okay.
So Mixolydian would be the 4th scale, right? Yeah. Basically, you just play an E major.
No. I'm saying play an A major scale over an E.
Okay.
And you'll have a D natural in the scale.
Let's see, what note is missing? So is that what it is? You play D natural. Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Play D natural.
Yeah, D natural. So in the key of A, you got F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp.
I see. I was only
Yeah.
playing a pentatonic, so I never even touched the D natural.
Yeah. This is kind of when you're messing with modes.
Yeah.
And I like to think of it as you're painting a picture, like the harmony behind is simple, you know? But the scale is what's bringing out the emotion.
It's flavoring it.
Yeah.
So if I just play a 1 and a 5. But that's an A, so you would want a 1 and a 5 from an E, and then you play the A over top of it, right?
Yep, A major scale. Yep.
So let's do a 1 and a 5 for an E.
That's it right there. And to get it to sound very Middle Eastern, like bend it.
You know what I think would be fun? If I just play this and you go through every single mode and we see what they all sound like.
Sure, let's do it.
Because you can do that, I can't.
Let's do it. Okay, so
You want me to go slower, faster?
no, that's fine. So you lay that you're laying the groundwork. Dan's playing a good old E
Power chord.
So this, a good old major scale. We'll just keep going down the more we'll keep going lower. So next one, odd
Starts
thing.
at 7.
Let's do a Mixolydian. So Mixolydian. Lydian. Very dreamy sounding. Minor.
Is that C sharp minor?
No, it's E minor. Yep. Just good old natural E minor. So then, let's see what we got. Phrygian. Switched it up a little bit there. Locrian. Did I miss one?
Should be seven.
Dorian. I missed Dorian. There you go.
Was that 7?
I think so.
Okay.
I did Mixolydian. I did major. I did minor. When I was just going order. I did major. Did Dorian. Did Phrygian. Did Lydian, Mixolydian, minor. Locrian, yeah. That was 7. Yep. Yep. The ones that I go to when I'm doing stuff.
Some of them are hard to do. They're hard to make sense of.
Yeah, the one Locrian I never really found much use for tonally. I mean, when you're going for that diminished sound, I guess that's the time you use it. But I honestly just like doing arpeggiated diminished arpeggios. If I was ever revolving around an arpeggiated diminished chord. But the scales that I love the most: Lydian, Mixolydian, Dorian, Phrygian. Those are the ones I like to screw with the most and build around. Yeah. You know?
Well, they sound the most rock and rollish. They've got a slight hint of that Middle Eastern kind of feel to it, which is pretty popular in hard rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the great.
But if that had no distortion on it, that would probably sound Spanish.
Can you do that? Can you just do it? Just take your E, slide the E up. Yeah, keep doing it. Fun sound.
Wasn't close.
If I do if I play an A minor scale, don't play a pentatonic. Make sure you play the A minor, natural minor.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Go ahead. Spanish.
Likes to settle around this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now you're getting it. That's it, buddy. That's it. Dude, that's it. You got it, see? Bam. All I had to do is tell you, here, play this scale.
Yep.
And bam. It's in the head, in the moment, in your head, you have to think, okay, so somebody's playing E, right? And you're like, okay, I want to play Phrygian. And you're like, well, wait a minute, what do I got to do to make it Phrygian? And the way that I like to think of it, certain scales I throw into certain categories, right? Phrygian is obviously in the minor family, you know? Mm-hmm. Dorian, Phrygian, Locrian, and of course natural minor. I throw those guys into the bucket of minor, right? So in my head, I automatically just go, okay, what is E minor? What is the key signature? And it has one sharp. Yeah. So that's E minor, which is also a G major scale. G major has one sharp, that's F sharp. They're relatives. So then I say, okay, so I got E minor, and there's my F sharp, right? In order to make a scale Phrygian, though, if it was originally major, or originally minor, I can go that route too. If I can say if it was originally minor, to make it Phrygian, I just have to flat one more thing, and that cancels out the sharp.
Yeah.
So it becomes no sharps or flats. So you're playing an E major chord with a scale that has no sharps or flats. Now, what scale has no sharps or flats?
C.
Yep. Or A minor. Those two scales are relatives.
Yeah.
So that kind of lays the groundwork of where should I start? Okay, well there you go. You start on C major. If you're not like super confident in your Phrygian, like if someone said, hey, play an E Phrygian, but make sure to play it on the E
position.
Yeah.
Okay. On the E.
And then you can work on that. But if I tell you, like I just did, if I just said, hey, just play an A minor, right, natural minor scale.
So, I know all the major scales.
Yeah.
And so the thing I do when we talk about modes, I figure out, okay, what's the major key,
right,
and then what scale degree does it inherit from?
Yeah.
And so, like when you said A minor, that's scale degree 6. It's a mode of C major. A minor is a mode of C major. It's relative minor, and it starts on scale degree 6, and so I can start on scale
degree 6 according to C
major, yeah. And so, but then I started hearing, like, as I'm playing along, it's like it starts to want to settle on that B,
right?
That B, and so, yeah, and so as you start playing along with those things, you start, instead of like, I wouldn't start on the C because that kind of paints it a certain way. Versus.
Right. One of the things, though, that you need, when you're playing this stuff, if you want to make something sound like it's an E Phrygian over, like, if someone's just playing an E, you do want to get that minor second according to E. So technically you're
according to E major.
So you're C, yeah.
So which mode is it?
So you're C. You're gonna want to definitely feel out that. Oh no, I'm sorry.
That would be G.
I'm sorry. F.
Okay.
You want to definitely have that F in there to make it feel like it's a Phrygian mode, because if I don't play an F, right?
Yeah, so this would start on scale degree 4 then.
Scale degree 1 now?
Scale degree 4. Phrygian mode is scale degree 4. Starts on scale degree 4 for the major key.
Yeah, and the major key would be C, right?
Okay. So in scale. Okay, so it starts on scale degree 6 then.
If I want to play if I want to play E Phrygian.
Yes.
If I want to play E Phrygian, you're technically in the key of C.
Okay. And so
Major.
it'd be C, D, E. So it's scale degree 3 is what Phrygian is.
Yeah.
For the major, relative major key, I guess.
Yeah, when you look at the scales, it's major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian.
I hope my music theory teacher isn't watching this right now. I was supposed to have all that stuff memorized.
And it over time, I guess for me it's not too. Well, I don't know why it wasn't hard for me to memorize that. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian.
Yeah. See, I learned all the major keys, and like I said, when I want to do something, I pick up on okay, what's the major key, and then what scale degree does the mode derive from of the major key, and so, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and when I talk a lot of guitar players, I feel like are comfortable with their minor and major shape at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I talk to them about this kind of thing, if they're trying to figure out modes, I say, well, technically, every mode is going to have its relative major, and that's how in my head, that's how I visualize it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
it's just getting them down is the difficult part.
Yeah, they're all going to have some type of relative. Mm-hmm. So let's say I'm playing like we are now with no sharps or flats. When you're thinking, oh, we're in the key of C, but all of a sudden you hear like this B, and you're hearing these, and you're like, why is there a B being played? And then it's like you're in Locrian. You're playing a Locrian.
Yeah, it's all
riff.
about the way you interpret it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I guess that's how I do it. As I take the major. How do I make major minor? Add 3 flats, and flats cancels out sharps.
See,
if I'm in a major,
I just know the shapes. I could on a piece of paper write down what's in what.
Yeah. Well, I focus on the shapes too.
So.
But I just know. I also know, like in my head, the key signature I'm looking at. Yeah. So if you're an A major, how do you make A major minor? You give it 3 flats. Well, it already has 3 sharps, so that makes it no flats or sharps. If you're in D major, and you're like, okay, I want to make this D Dorian. Well, I think in my head, like, okay, D minor would have 1 flat, but you're raising the 6th. So that makes it no sharps or flats once again. So if you play a C major scale,
you want me to play C major scale while you play that?
Go ahead and play a C major scale.
That's D major, sorry. Things that made me have a giant breakthrough when I'm still learning a lot of stuff, always learning, but was reaching the point where learning the major scales, just learning those to begin with. Because originally I'd be playing the pentatonic, and I was like, okay, this sounds kind of cool, but it makes everything pentatonic. It makes everything sound like some sort of rock and roll or bluesy or something like that. But it kind of, when you get the whole major scale in there, it really opens up an entire world of texture you can add to a song.
Yeah.
But it's also more challenging because it opens up a whole new world of stuff you can mess up as well.
And one of the things that helped me figure out the fretboard playing in one key could just be like C, right? I could just be playing a C chord, and I would sit there and be like, all right, let's play C major shapes. And I would play a C major shape. And then I'd be like, okay, what's scale degree 2? Well, that's D Dorian. And I would just have C playing. So what's my next one? After that is Phrygian. What's my next scale up? Lydian. Just literally keep going up the neck, and that really helped me see things in the neck. For me, at least, I was like, okay, here's I'm playing a C, so let's start on the C, regular old C major shape. What's the next scale? D Dorian, right? Let's play D Dorian scale. Okay, I got that. And then it just kind of helps you find shapes on what key you're in.
Yeah,
you know,
it's that caged system.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, you start with your C, then you go to A for C.
Actually, the cage system.
But then, if you know where all your roots are, and you know the scales, how they are connect to the root. So. And so then you know, like, for instance, that this octave here exists.
Yeah.
So you know your other scale. And then you got another octave here. So if you know where all your octaves are, and then you can start piecing together other stuff. So like, you know, your octave, well, okay, a fourth up is then. And so then you got your 4 here. So whenever you go into a 4 in a song. And so if you know where your 4 is, you know, 5 is right there.
Yep.
6 will be a full step up from the 4. And so learning those relationships is good, because then you don't really even need to know the shapes. You just need to know where your roots are.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I've heard people I've heard other guitar players say that the modes were super helpful to them, knowing the modes.
Yeah.
But I use the octaves. I know the relationship of all the octaves to each other.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what allows me to bounce around.
Yeah.
I'm not as good. I need to practice more.
We all need to practice more. You know, but I think I'm a mode guy. I was a mode guy when I started.
Yeah, I've heard other guitarists say they're mode guys too. So
yeah.
But to me, the entire idea of a mode is just, it's a major scale that you center around one note. That's different than the root note.
Right.
And it just, to me, it's easier to just remember one major scale, and then know where the scale degrees are.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I, of course, have all my comfortable keys that I like to be in, you know.
C.
Like being in C. I like C. C is good.
Kind of lifeless.
But I do like, you know, obviously on a guitar, the E, A.
Guitar is basically
D.
Yeah. D is good. C, E, A, D. G is good.
G. Yep, G is a good one.
G is pretty standard. Almost everyone
Yep.
plays in G.
G and C.
Yeah.
G and C.
G and C.
The fitness place. Supplement.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all keys that you're kind of in. Although, however, since I got a 7-string, that's changed a little bit. Now that I have a 7-string, I'm going into B and
It's too many strings.
know,
It's too many strings.
C, E. With still some E in there, but you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, B's heavily related to E.
Yeah. So, you know. But on another note,
There it is.
what were you playing there? Oh yeah. Nice. Oh gosh, that was one of the first songs I learned on guitar, man.
It's kind of cool.
When I started playing electric guitar.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, so you learn all these block chords. Yeah, you learn all this block.
The rest of it, but
yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it is you learn all these dense chords where everything's together.
Yeah.
And things are like when you write it on the staff, they're stacked nicely, straight triads. But then you learn like inversions that take those relationships away, and so you got this E, A, D. So this is in the key of D. And so all of a sudden you got this droning D string.
Yeah.
And so, and you can throw in you can play in the key of D, and so you can play these open chords.
Yeah.
And so they're based off the based on the E shapes. Yeah, no, I wasn't even doing that. I was just doing the 1 and the 3.
The 1 and the 3.
Yeah, so 1 and the 3, and leave the 1 open and mute the A. So start on B or D. Start on D. The root, and then you get your G flat, or what would that be? That'd be a F sharp. Yep, and then as you slide down, so you can think about your E shape. About your E shape, but you just remove the 5 and the extra 1.
I see what you're doing, yeah. So if you were playing it here, you'd have your you got your like your 3rd in the bass.
Yeah. So every major is gonna be staggered. Every minor is gonna be flat.
Right.
And it sounds nice and open, gives that a little extra something, makes it sound not so heavy, not so dense, which depending on what you're playing. So So D is good for that. Then you got E. You can pretty much play every string open with E.
Yep. So what are you doing there?
I'm just keeping my. I'm just only playing the triad portion of the E shape. So go up to the full minor. Slide up full G sharp.
Oh yeah.
A, B, C sharp minor, and then back to E. And you can do the diminished shape, but it's a little bit painful.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah. And then you can with the same with E is.
Yep.
So you can make that stretch.
Yeah, I was one of the things I like to do is I've probably shown you this where I like to just play sixth. At least in a diatonic form. So I do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be 1. That'd be 7. Here's a 6.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, I like open D a lot.
Yeah,
I like
do
that
too.
open D shapes.
On the acoustic, I'll play like just that. Put that G in the bass for that 4.
So you're playing basically a G with an added A.
Yeah, or you could say a D with a 4, D sus4. Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
I like that sound.
I mean, when I play G, I like to lead out a lot of notes. So like, so I go ahead and mute the B string or the A string.
Yeah.
With the first finger.
Yep.
So with your C shape right here.
You're just kind of going around. Yeah. That's why I love it too. You just kind of go around the scale, like you're just playing different notes in the bass. Yeah.
You keep going down.
Yep.
And then you can even leave out the. It's not the most beautiful sound. You can probably just play that for the minor or play a. I mean, technically that works for minor. That I mean, you can leave it open, and it gives it those. It gives it kind of a pretty feel to it.
Yeah.
Which is great for worship music, but it's. I mean, that's
right.
But yeah, it makes that G. It opens it up and makes it sound so kind of nice and open. Sound like think it sounds like a... It's the Goo Goo Dolls, maybe? That's one of the things that impresses me the most is when, without distortion, without heavy gain, without any of that, you can still make the guitar sound nice.
Who, me?
Well, just when anyone can do it, you know. I mean, I like effects and everything, but sometimes just letting it have its own character shine through.
Yeah. Like I do like to have a little bit of spice in there, like this.
Yeah.
A little bit of vibraphone feel.
Spice it up. I'm gonna go to the E major.
Okay.
Here we go. And again, back to the E major. Now I'm going to add the C in there. So it starts with G. Here we go. C.
Nice.
Back to D.
So you played so you just played an E major, huh?
Yeah. E, G, D, A. Back to the E, G, D, A. Then I went with the C part. Again, G, back to the B minor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't sat down and thought about what that is.
Well, you got what you're doing there is you're in the key of D.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I'm borrowing from the key of A for the E minor, or for the E major.
For the E major, you're kind of doing this like thing where you're like. You're almost going to like a D minor feel.
Yeah, so I.
G after that.
Yeah, so it's just
Okay.
E, G, D, A suspended.
Okay.
And then I go back to the G, D, A, C.
Nice.
And it kind of, I'm pretty sure what is happening is I'm hammering on when I have that A suspended, it puts it into the key of A and it makes the E make sense.
Well, it's like you're.
And then the C comes from G.
Right. So yeah, if you're hitting an E major going to a G major, right?
Mm-hmm.
You now got a G. Oh, then you go to G major, so it changes. But
yeah, so we start off in the key of D, but we're on a B minor, so we're kind of in B minor. So yeah, I start off on B minor. Sounds like some song I've heard before.
Yeah, it does. Well, that's kind of what you got going on there. Yeah. You could call it like a. Call them like secondary dominant chords, but it's going to the G, so that's why it's.
Yeah, so the G. So
you're like raising the 2 chord. You're raising the 2 chord, which is E. You're making it major.
It's just, I think it sounds nice.
It's cool.
It's a fun chord progression.
So what's the first thing you start playing?
So the first chord progression I do is B minor, A minor, A suspended, G, D, A suspended, back to the B minor, A suspended, G, D, A, back to the B, and so A, G, and this is where I go to the E after the D and A. D, A, E. G, D, and then I resolve the A. G, D, A, C.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I would just say you're just going to different keys.
Yeah, you're not
in there a little bit.
You're borrowing from other keys, but honestly, if you're singing along with it, the problem is it changes the key in your head.
Yeah.
Because if you try to go back to that into the D, you
have a hard time.
A little bit.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, but I guess there's a lot of different ways you go about that. You could, if you're playing, one way to approach if you're doing a solo, if you're playing the D, I would stay in a B minor shape. You're just playing, so you're playing what you're playing in the beginning. You're playing like a B pentatonic, B minor, natural. As soon as you hit that E, though, you would change the B minor scale to a B Dorian, and that's what would give you that notch up.
C at the end of that chord progression, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and that'll take you like
back to G, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
that's nice, man.
G is 4 in D, right? No. Yes.
And the key, D is the 4. Yeah. G is the 4.
Is 4 in E. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in D, the G is the 4. The C is the 5.
In D?
I'm sorry. The A is the 5. Yeah. And the C
is a flat 7.
The flat 7.
Yeah. Although it doesn't feel like that when you listen to it.
Yeah. Oh, so in that case, what would be cool is if you did a Mixolydian scale there, so you'd play that.
Okay, so I'll play the. That's a good look you got. 'Cause you're yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm playing like a B. I go from a D Mixolydian to like a B Dorian, B minor when you go back to the regular old verse, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Back to the D or B minor.
yeah, playing that B minor, D majors for that verse thing, and then when you hit that E, turn it into B Dorian. We'll give you that G sharp, and then when you get to that G, go immediately right back to B minor, and then after that, when you hit that C, turn it into a D Mixolydian. We'll give it that, it'll still sound like a major scale, but it's complementing that C chord, since it's not a C sharp anymore.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I dig it, dude.
You want to hear another fun one?
Sure. What do you got?
So this one's a little bit more upbeat.
This will be...
A minor, C, G, E.
Nice.
And then something super simple. Just walk down.
All right.
I played a little.
I feel like I should be singing a song while you do that.
Oh, well, I mean, I wrote songs to both these. So.
You got lyrics?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't mess it up for you then. I won't mess it up. Hey, walking down the road with a gunny sack in the back. Got a dog. And a bone. Good old A minor scale. If I want to get fancy. Throw some Hungarian minor and that's a G sharp. Nice.
I like that.
That's fun, man. You got lyrics to that?
I do. Yeah.
Wow. Man.
I don't know if they're good or not. I like them. It's one of the favorite songs I've written. So.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if you ever want to lay down a track, man, you should just come over here and we'll just record you on the thing here.
We might have to do that.
And I can like add whatever you want. There's all sorts of effects on here and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that was good. Are you good?
I think that's good. Yeah.
I think we're good.
You think we're good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
That was good. We talked about stuff. We jammed.
Jammed.
Maybe some people learned some things. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. In the coming weeks, they can watch it again on YouTube and
That's right.
dissect things.
Yeah, I'll promote it.
Slower. Yeah.
I'll promote it more. I'm gonna post this on the page and everything.
We're gonna have a giveaway of nothing. We're not gonna have a giveaway.
We'll have a giveaway of knowledge.
Knowledge.
Look at this knowledge. Free knowledge.
We had to pay to go to school to find this stuff.
Everything we learned, we're offering for free on this stream.
You can check out our website at Facebook.
At facebook.com. or as we know it, the metaverse soon to be, huh?
See. Yeah.
Which I don't know what the heck's going to happen with that. What's going to happen with that, Dan?
So my favorite.
You're the scientist.
I don't know. I really don't know. My favorite thing is apparently Meta Industries or something like that is already owned by someone else, and they're currently not giving it away to Facebook, and so there's a little bit of a battle about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's why we haven't had the AIs take over yet. It's just because
Well, no, the AIs aren't.
domain names.
The AIs aren't smart enough to take over yet.
Well, I saw the commercial for it, and I was like, what the heck? What are you guys trying to tell me?
Yeah,
I see a lion dancing around with a monkey, and
I think it's supposed to be like a 3D virtual space for people to communicate.
yeah, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like, I think of The Sims.
Yeah.
Isn't The Sims where you can like you do this role play, like you can build your character?
Yeah, except it's not really multiplayer, but yeah.
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 You build your own little character and you go live your life.
Yeah. I played The Sims, and I played as a musician, and I made a living playing guitar in the subway.
Really?
Yeah.
How does The Sims? I saw it. I never understood what it was about.
So I mean,
Never played it.
You're building a life. You
Yeah.
can become whatever you want to become: painter, musician. You can go to work at a hospital. You can be a firefighter. It's just, but the cool thing about it is you get to kind of build your own house, which is really the funnest part of it. Is building your own house.
Is it?
Yeah.
They had like the Sims theme park or something. You built a bunch of rides.
Oh, Sim Coaster?
Yeah, Sim
Yeah,
Coaster.
it's not related to The Sims.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
No.
I thought it was The Sims.
No. No, that's fun though. You build roller coasters.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I never I never got into it. I didn't the games that I played as a kid were I played strategy games, like I was Age of Empires and Total War type stuff.
Yeah.
Played those, but then I got into like when I got a PS2, I got super into racing games. I just got Need for Speed and Burnout.
See, I kind of pegged you as like a Mortal
Grand Theft
Kombat
Auto.
guy.
Did you?
Yeah. Not so much.
I guess not. I guess
Not
I liked games that offered a kind of like real thing. Well, I guess I would have played it if I had it, but I guess I didn't.
You like the strategy games though, huh?
I did. I liked it.
You like racing, strategy games, and racing. Interesting.
Yeah, and then like if you gave me Mortal Kombat, I'd probably get bored. I would need. I did like that
You don't like the button mashing.
I did like the Sky. I did like the Skyrim.
Okay.
Thing like I guess a story is nice. I like to have a story. If I'm playing some type of role playing game, I'd like to have a story. Having like, and also in that game you get to kind of choose who you are and whatever. But I thought that was fun. I thought Red Dead Redemption was fun.
Okay. Man, I Had you completely wrong in the game front.
Yeah, no, the games I played completely through in my life. Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Okay.
Which was, to be honest, I probably haven't even beaten that game. I think I'm stuck on like the alpha driver and I can't beat him.
See, I just enjoy.
But I have like,
cops.
yeah. Well, I have like what do they call it in the game when you're like, you have a hot my car is like wanted. Oh. My car is wanted like by FBI military. As soon as I go out on the road, cop sees me. It's like on. SWAT teams are flying. Like, because depending in that game, if you escape once, heat level goes up a little bit. Twice, heat level keeps going up. I must have like outrun cops like 50 times or something crazy. Okay. So now if a cop sees me in my car in that game, if I go start it up right now and I start playing and a cop sees me, it's just like tanks, helicopters. I mean, it's just like,
it's like 6 stars
and I can't win. I cannot beat because it's like you have to get through so many traps. You have to like stay in a hideout for so long and then escape, and it's just like it's these crazy requirements so that you can earn the honor of racing the master, who's like the top dog in LA racing around the streets or whatever. And so you have to make this list. You have to do all these things to meet the requirements to race this guy, and it is so stinking hard, dude. So I probably haven't totally beat that game, but I did beat Carbon, Need for Speed Carbon, Burnout. I beat Burnout Revenge. I got the new Burnout Paradise. I love that one. I also got the new Need for Speed Rivals. That's a lot of fun. That's a good one. I'll play that one. Haven't beat that one yet, though. Red Dead Redemption. Played right through it.
Horse Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. and for some reason it's like ridiculously fun.
It is so much fun.
The whole freaking like that eye thing, that eagle eye, whatever it is, like when you can like
red dead eye or something.
Yeah,
like
red eye.
Dead eye, red dead eye. Yeah.
That's so awesome. You can like slow the screen down, pick your targets, and then all of a sudden he just goes.
Did you ever play Fallout?
I was like blowing to the mic. My bad. Fallout, no.
See, I think you'd like Fallout.
I played BioShock because my friend was like, dude, there's this freaky game and it's scary. And I played that straight through. I was like, oh, that was kind of a cool story. You know, you had some scares here and there, some nutty people running around.
Fallout is like the baby of Red Dead Redemption and Skyrim. Although most people would probably be upset with me because Fallout came out well before Skyrim did. But you got that slowdown. It's called VATS.
Yeah.
And you can shoot things and.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Although anymore, don't have time to play video games.
I haven't touched a video game
I play maybe once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
As I spit in the microphone.
But back when I was younger and I had Total War, I had Rome Total War. I still have it because the most dopest strategy game I feel ever. Like unlimited armies. Like in Age of Empires, you can only have so many dudes in a group, and like in Rome Total War, it was like you could also build your own battles. So I made a whole reenactment, being the nerd I was. I did a whole reenactment of the Battle of Thermopylae. I had the whole Persian. I had the elephants, dude.
Okay.
I had like the whole, and it was all Persian. It had nothing to do with any other emperor. It was all these Persians with all the Persian-esque military and weapons. And I had 300 Spartan spearmen. And
did they win?
They kicked butt, man.
Okay.
But I kind of would finagle a little because I knew that I was like the battlefield wasn't like a total valley.
Sure.
So what I did was had the Persians have like billions and billions of guys and cavalry, archers. Actually, I might have skipped on the archers a little bit, because it was quite obvious, like the archers in an open field would just take you out, a bunch of spearmen. But yeah, I propped them up, and because you can give them like star ratings as like how strong do you want them to be. So obviously I gave all 300 of them like the highest ranking battle experience, and all the Persians I kind of left at a mediocre. But yeah, I kind of created that whole thing, and a couple times I won, a couple times I lost, you know. But man, I mean the sound effects, and it was funny because the graphics, like you look at it now, weren't that great, but at the time when I was playing it, to like be able to zoom into the battlefield and see a dude jumping and stabbing her. Yeah, seeing it, and it's like today it's so cheap. Like he's like up in the air and then hits a guy, misses, but the guy still dies.
Yeah, tell me. So I saw Lord of the Rings when it first came out in theaters.
Yeah.
I'm that old, and so but now I look back on it and I'm watching it, I'm like, these graphics are still good, but they're not as good as I remember them being.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's just like,
it's kind of like when you go and watch some of those movies that you were like, they were supposed to be these groundbreaking.
yeah. And at
things.
the time they were.
Like I just saw a commercial on TV. They're like, hey, we're going to be playing all these Christmas movies. And they were showing the Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching that and I'm like, no, this isn't. And even at the time, I thought it was kind of weird.
I never saw the Polar Express.
If you watch it, it'll weird you out. It's like graphics, but they were able to get they attached all this stuff to people's faces, and you know who I thought did a better job was when they made that Avatar with the blue.
Avatar still looks good.
Yeah, they did a
killer job.
They did a good job. I thought they did really good.
They're supposed to be coming out with sequels here soon.
I saw that, yeah.
But I feel like it gets pushed back every year. Of course, COVID didn't help any. But
yeah. I wonder why.
What's his name? The director, he was waiting for the technology to be in the right place to be able to form his vision. So,
interesting.
As much as people give him crap, and
wasn't that how George Lucas did with Star Wars?
No,
he didn't want to make episodes 1, 2, and 3 because he was like, we don't got the graphics for that.
He had no story. So my understanding is, I don't actually know why it took him so long.
I think that's what I heard.
He didn't have episode 1, 2, and 3 though written out until many, many years later.
Yeah, but I still think that he wanted to wait on those for whatever reason, just because he wasn't happy with the graphics at the time.
That could be true.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But even then, episode 4 was supposed to be like a B movie anyway, and not make it.
Did a killer job.
I know. It became a whole.
Well, I mean, Steven Spielberg, really fixed George Lucas's work, because George Lucas can't write a script to save his life. He can write a stellar universe. He's a universe guy. But the individual minute details of the interactions of people look kind of silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you get such gems such as Anakin when he's talking to Padme. He's like, I hate sand.
I hate what?
I hate sand.
Oh.
It's coarse. And, it's just... It's those little things like in episode 2, I think it's when he's flirting with her when he's at the cat, or when he's out with her. And so,
yeah.
And so you get a whole lot of gems such as Jar Jar Binks. And
yeah, that was... Everybody wasn't really happy with him, and he never really bothered me. And then people started talking about him. I said, "Oh, I guess I can understand why he was a little annoying." And
I've loved every single Star Wars movies I've watched.
Yeah.
So I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think the newest ones are that great.
Yeah.
But I still liked them. So.
Well, like I said, we've probably talked about this already, but I did enjoy the very last newest one.
Episode 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the message in that. That was something new for Disney, I felt. Where the main character was realizing that there was something not good inside of her.
Well, that's the message of Star Wars as a whole, is that balance
Yeah.
between good and evil.
Yeah.
And trying to
Yeah.
fight that temptation to
Yeah.
misuse things or create imbalance. And
Yeah.
I really like the redemption arc for Kylo Ren
Yeah.
or Ben Kenobi. Not
Yeah.
Ben Kenobi, I'm sorry. Ben Skywalker.
Ben Skywalker, yeah.
I really like the way they did the redemption for him.
Yeah.
Overall, I really liked episode 9. I think had they had better writers for episode 8, it would have been stellar.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I thought they were meh. Like even in the 9th one, there were some things that I was like, all right,
yeah.
like, you know,